Okay, Deepthi. Deepthi.
Thank you, madam.
Start.
Okay, we'll just start a minute or two early today. Welcome, masters. Our session is going to end by 10 to 9, preferably, and at the latest 5 to 9, because we have another following Zoom session after this. Well, welcome to day 2 of the 12 universal laws that we're continuing from yesterday. Let's start our session with the highest salutations and gratitude and surrenderance to our Guru Shakti and the entire universe that's helping us enlighten for the benefit of all, and the Vishwa Shakti that is flowing throughout us, that's making us work for the higher purpose, and to our soul purpose, soul family, which is all you people and Ekathva family. Thank you, friends. This is a session organized by Ekathva Academy, and we are here to learn the 12 universal laws. Well, these are the laws that govern the making of this whole entire universe, not just our little planet. These are the universal laws that help you understand the make and model of the entire universe. So these are laws that not just govern on Earth, but throughout the universe. So, and there is a reason why you haven't heard or learned them in your school syllabus books. And that shows why these laws have been hidden from us, basically. These days, if you want to come across syllabus like this, either you have to be a spiritual aspirant, or you should be blessed by a spiritual guru, or you should be following your path of soul. Your soul would guide you as to what to look for and where to look for. So we're very lucky. We should congratulate our soul, in fact, if we've come to a position or a place where we are coming to know these universal laws. You should consider yourself very lucky, because till now we have been living in this physical realm, thinking that we are just this body. But then slowly you understand that there's beyond this body, there's a mental realm, which is a mind, driven, layer or realm. But then after becoming spiritually eager, then you come to know that there is a highest energy field or energy realm which is governed by our soul. Right. So to understand these laws, there are 12 basic universal law strengths. I haven't got it on top of my mind, so I don't expect you to either. Well, anyone and everyone who can turn on their cameras, I encourage you to do so. Thank you. First is the law of divine oneness. Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. Thank you, Bharati ma'am. Bharat Devi ma'am, need not even ask you. Your camera is always on. So law of divine oneness, law of vibration, law of attraction, and law of correspondence is what we've seen yesterday. And today we'll go to the next 4, but we'll just have a simple recap of these basic laws that we went through yesterday. Just remember that whenever these laws come across in your travel on this earth, you should be in a position to explain them very, very fluently in a line or two to a page or two. Okay. Maybe your relatives, your friends, or your kids, or family members, anyone. These laws should be on the tip of your fingers. Okay. Need not be in the same order, but anyone says, what is law of rhythm? What is law of perpetual transmutation of energy? You should have a basic understanding, because you know how important you go onto the street and you know where to walk and where not to walk, or in each country you know which side of the road to actually drive on, and you know the rules and regulations of that country basically before you enter that country. These are even more important than that, truly speaking, because these govern basically your whole existence. So not knowing these laws and running a show called life, or game called life is almost like a football player playing rugby or something, or a football player coming and playing kabaddi. Okay, it's that confusing. So it is a total mismatch when you don't know how this universe is made, what principles it's made of and made upon. It's very unfair to actually expect you to succeed in this physical realm. So once you understand the make and model of this universe, you will understand, oh my god, why things are happening the way it is. Why am I attracting the same patterns in my life? Why am I coming across similar things that I don't want or I want? And you become the king of your own life, friends. Even if you fail at something, don't you love that you decided to fail at it? That concept of control and that concept of dictation. You will dictate as a leader, as a creator of your life, rather than a beggar, with an empty bowl, always begging. Just like a person plays in a casino and just prays to God, thinking, please God, just let me win, let me win, let me win. Our lives have become like that lately. So we are very lucky to be blessed with enlightened masters around us, enlightened gurus like Prabodh Achyutha sir and his guru Patriji, who have got all this information in very very simple book formats, and we are here just enjoying the seeds of their hard work. So our highest salutations to such Guru Shakti, and we always should promise that we will be surrendered to such Guru Shakti and be their reflections going forward. Do the same in this universe. Be their light beings. Work for a higher purpose. Work for the universal greater good. Okay. So with that affirmation, let's go forward. Let's recap quickly. What is just 1 minute each? Law of divine oneness. This is a beautiful law that says you are God and you should treat everyone as, not treat actually, you should remember that everyone around you, in front of you, is God. Okay. And just like you are carrying your day to day activities to the best of your abilities, knowledge, and wisdom, so is everyone around you, friends. So when you find someone hurting you or not in tune with you, remember that they are doing this. I'm looking for a thumbs up if my voice is clear to everyone. Awesome. So remember that just the way you are doing things at the best of your abilities, everyone around you is waking up and to the best of their abilities, they are working hard to be happy, to be content, to be satisfied, to lead their lives in the best of the way. Okay. So when you cross paths in a not so happy way, just learn to forgive them and remember this law. If you think you're a god, even they are gods, equal gods. And gods can't be first, second, third. For your life, for your experience, for your time on this earth, you are a god. They are their gods. Okay. And remember that your actions, your words, your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, intentions, all these are affecting everyone around you, including the seven lokas above you and the seven lokas below you. And so are your seven other bodies, right? Along with your physical body, there are seven other total bodies. So you are affecting not just your own physical body, you're affecting everything in this divine universe. So that should make you responsible every second, that I should be in utmost awareness and, talk good, be good, think of a higher, greater good, and be to the best of my abilities and knowledge, right? So next one is law of vibration. It says vibrations are felt by not your physical body first, but your second body, the next immediate body, which is your etheric body. Okay. That is why when you sit beside someone you like, you feel good vibes. And when you consider someone as an enemy or something, you get negative vibes or not so positive vibes, right? Well, your liking or dislike comes after the way you feel. First, your etheric body gives you a signal saying you're getting negative vibrations or not so great vibrations. And otherwise, it says, yes, this is a great positive place. You should stay longer. So accordingly, your body reacts. So to even be in a position to react to positive or not so positive vibes and all, you should clean up your body regularly. And this is not just your physical body, your emotional body, your etheric body gets cleansed in the second round of benefits in meditation. So all your thousands of hours of meditation is for this. With uh, many burdens of lifetimes, many years of suppressed feelings and unnoticed, un no, what do you say, unaddressed emotions, suppressed, and the emotions that have been hidden. When you say something and you mean something in the back of your mind, all those get cleaned up and cleansed during your meditation. So the best way to tune towards the law of vibration is to clean yourself regularly with the process of meditation, which is the easiest, I feel, literally. It's the cosmic shower, that you can have. And at what cost, friends? Absolutely free. Who can stop you from meditating? You can sit and meditate. You can meditate in a fruit market, in a fish market, to a temple, to wherever you're waiting for something, in a queue for something to pay an electricity bill. Right from there to anywhere, you can literally meditate. In fact, the most enlightened guru says you are the best meditator if you can meditate within a blink of an eye. You can just meditate and come back. That's the best kind of meditation. It's nothing to do with the length or how many hours and the place and the situation and all that. It's the quality that matters, right? So some people over the years of practice, like Prabodh sir, they have developed 10 seconds meditation, 3 seconds meditation, 1 minute meditation, where you pack all these energies into a very tiny little time and then get the best of the meditation and then finish it up, right? So meditation is the best way to tune to law of vibration. Next, we come to law of attraction, our most favorite, because it's very closely related to law of manifestation. Manifestation law is something that makes you feel like a god. You wish for it and things just happen. And you get this feeling like, oh my God, I'm creating for the first time. I'm no more begging in my life. I'm not waiting for things to happen. The very moment you want something and you just, tada, it just happens. Like, how a person, revolves this rotates this magic wand and says abracadabra, and then things just appear like a pigeon that shouldn't be there, or something, like a colored flower or something. So life feels like that. And how do you manifest things is by respecting and tuning yourself to law of attraction. So anything that you want, you should actually become that. So if I want beauty in my life, I should never look in the mirror or talk ill about me, or look in the mirror and say you are not that, beautiful. So you should always carry yourself as the most beautiful woman who has walked not just on earth, on the entire universe. So you should be your own fan. So if you want to become thin, okay, you should first of all stop using words like fat. Some people address the same statement as, I want to reduce my fats. You should always address the sentence in terms of your target. You should say, I want to become thin. So thin is what you want to become. So your words, your thoughts, your actions, everything should reflect what you want. Okay. And any change in these emotions at sixth level, I've told you, 6 levels should align, friends. Your thoughts, what you think should align with what you talk. It should align with what you act, your shoulders. So your actions, thoughts, and words, they should align, along with three other things, which is your emotions, your feelings, and your creative visualizations. So what you keep on visualizing, what you keep on daydreaming, that also matters. Okay, that is actually what comes true. So whatever vibration you're vibrating in most, or whatever frequency you carry forward the most, that is what you attract, and that is what happens usually in your life. So stop blaming. The good news is no one is doing any jadoo or black magic on you. Everything that's happening in your life is absolutely at your free will, and it's actually happening only because you are attracting it. Okay. So simple, if you want to change the circumstances, your job or the people or anything in your life, simply change your vibration. Understood? So vibrate differently and you're going to attract different things in your life, different circumstances in your life. Last but not the least that we've gone through yesterday was law of correspondence. As I said, correspondence is something equivalent or similar, right? Or in connection with. So it says as above, so below, as within, so without. So what it says is as it's in the heavenly worlds above, it's the same on earth. And just like example, I'm a farmer, I'm a natural farmer. So when I dug my land in my farm, I saw that, you know, how big the tree is above the ground. It's equally and same pattern exists under the ground. So the same branch structure and all that reflects in its root structure. In fact, even human beings, if we fold our body from our belly button area, if we fold up a person up to down, turns out we get exact Xerox copy. So all our nerves, everything is totally a match. Understood? So same like that. If anything exists out there in the universe, it has to, and it does exist within us, even at a cellular level. So that is why we say at your cell level, you have eyes, you have a brain. Every cell has a capacity to multiply and heal and everything. If there are lawyers, doctors, you know, engineers, cops, good guys, bad guys in this outside world, the same exists even within your body. You may not just know about it, but I have learned the anatomy. I have gone through all the secret books that people are trying to hide from your general syllabus in schools and colleges. And trust me, I was amazed. I was amazed with this magnificent body that we have given and this amazing machine that is moving 700 parts put together, and all the 700 parts, when they fall in place and they're exactly perfect, that's when you wake up in the morning successfully. And that's when we say, I'm alive today. So, first of all, claps to those 700 parts, which are perfectly working day in, day out, without even you knowing it, without even you asking for it, without even you ever thanking them. So, let's quickly for a second think of those amazing 700 parts, amazing everything, right? From our teeth to our tongue to our nervous system to so many organs and every cell in our body that is perfectly working. And it's working in synchronism with the universe outside. Just like the sun comes, it goes, and the moon comes automatically. And you know how meteors are not crashing into earth, or things are not going bad. Everything is in perfect synchronism, just like how your body is working. Okay. So, well, if anyone says what is law of correspondence, you should know that it's as above, so below, right? As within, so without. As in, what is inside, it's reflected outside, and what's outside gets reflected inside. Okay. Next, we have interesting next four set of laws coming up today. Um, my one of the favorite laws. Next one is the law of action. I'm all about action. Okay. And law of action, as it says, look, many people who don't know these laws properly, they think action means karma. So the more you do or take actions, the more karmas you're doing. So I would rather not do karmas. But remember, at soul level, growth means experiences. Okay. So when you don't do any actions, when you don't act upon something, when you just sit with visual thinking and just visualizations, and you're just wishing, and desiring, you have all thoughts and everything, but you don't have an action to back it up. Okay, you don't push for it. As I said, you need six things to get your things manifested, your thoughts or anything manifested. You need proper thoughts aligned with proper words, consistent words, and then backed with the action. So I'm showing shoulders because you use shoulders to work on something, right? You move your shoulders and all, and usually shoulders are called bhujabal. Bhujabal means your shoulder strength goes into the doing of the action. So your action should match with your emotions, your feelings, and your imagination. I'll give you an example. Imagine a mother. who does not have kids yet. But somewhere inside, she's scared of having kids, but parallelly she's searching for kids. So do you think she will have kids or not have kids? Either she will have kids and have a painful suffering experience because her actions, thoughts and feelings, emotions, talk, the words and everything did not match, or else she's not going to have kids and suffer. Understood? So either the project will come true and then she's going to suffer, or else the project itself will not come true. So that's how important alignment of all these six things are. They should sit in your mind, friends. I'll repeat this till tomorrow, maybe 100 times if it's worth it is worth your thoughts, your words, your actions, and then your emotions, your feelings, and your visualizations. All these need to fall in place. And when they fall in place, that's when your desires, your thoughts, your intentions all come true. So many people who complain that manifestations are not happening. How come some people wish and they get what they want versus I'm not getting what I want, and all this? There is some misalignment in these six things. And one more thing is you just ask the universe in the most humble way, and you got to let go of that desire. You cannot set rules. Universe, get me this in 1 day time or 1 month time or 1 year time. No, because the time that we talk about in days, minutes, months, and all, that only exists in the earth realm, okay, on planet earth. Whereas on other planets, there is no time factor, and especially this linear factor, one after the other, going from one point to the other, one after the other. So time is measured differently and it works or it functions differently in the rest of the universe. So do not put a time limit. And this is very difficult for humans because most of our actions are forced actions. Just like you got to get up in the morning and you're forced to brush your teeth. Even though you don't feel like some days, you're forced to brush your teeth. And then you're forced to take a bath, forced to go to a school or office or somewhere that you're not interested in. So observe your day is filled with so many forces that you're lacking inspiration. There are two types of actions, apparently. So one is inspiration oriented action, and one is a forceful action where you need a push to do it. And it's very easy to understand these two because I know I've done so many actions by force. My whole education was by force, even though I was a first ranker. My whole 100% attendance in school and colleges was by force. Okay. On even days when I was sick, I was made to go to school and college. Who would love it, right? Then everything I used to study was by force. And how do I have a proof for it? Every second I open a book, I used to fall asleep within 15 seconds, I think. Understood? So, but now when I really am searching for all this wisdom and learning things by choice, by enthusiasm, by inspiration, right? I never get sleep when I'm reading a book. And I'm always becoming timeless. I want to learn more. And there's no exam at the end of it where I have to excel or not, or I don't have a failure fear, that someone is going to make me an F grade and I have to carry that burden forward. So just like someone tells you, I have meditated and I get these experiences, you feel like, inspired, right? But if you don't take action behind it, what's going to happen? That guy is fine. He is meditating. He goes home with his third eye experiences, whatever. He cleanses his body. He's all good. But you can't get anything without actually taking an action towards what you just heard. So what you do is you follow that inspiration with an action. You go meditate and then follows your own progress. Okay. So the higher purpose, the higher good happens when you put your action behind an inspiration, not by force. So if someone is, or just examine your day-to-day activities, how many actions are you doing which are from your heart, okay, which are by choice and not by force? Because when you do anything by force, it will not last, friends. I have to stress this. Anything, when you do it by force, it will not last. So try to replace all your forced things by something fun, or if you have to choose a career, if you have to choose a life partner, if you have to choose education for your kids or your future life or anything, make it inspiration based and not force based. Okay. Well, what happens when you do an activity based on inspiration rather than force is you become timeless. Remember, many times when you're enjoying something, you become timeless. You forget time and you don't even know that it's 2 hours or 3 hours, and sometimes the whole day goes by. But when the same thing is done when you're not inspired, for example, you're in a job you're in a job which is not of your choice, and your boss hates you and you hate your boss in return, what happens? You're checking the clock 1,000 times a day and you're counting every minute to pass by, right? So when you're worried too much or when you're counting time too much, it means you are doing forced action. When you forget time, just like kids, do they even remember when to eat? Is it time to eat, or which time of the day it is? They're just happy going around like free beings because they're just doing actions out of inspiration. When there is a saying, when a kid starts watching the clock for the first time in his life, it's during the school time because they hate school so much, especially the act of separating from their parents, from their mother, going away to strangers, and then their bullies and grading system and all these forces put upon them, that they're waiting. They want to go out and play in the sun freely. They want to touch the grass, roll, fall, hit each other with stones or what, God knows. But the first time we introduced time concept in their lives is at the misery of school hours. And they're counting when we cross period after period after period. And the last period is their favorite time when they just become free and they get to become free, like free kids again. So remember, if you're looking at time too much, you're not inspired in that particular action. Okay. So your desires, your thoughts need to be backed up with actions. And that is when the law of manifestation happens. Okay. Right. Next law. We have only covered one law in 26 minutes, no problem. Today's laws are quite simple. If you can understand them, today's laws are very, very simple, friends. Because the main laws, which were the law of oneness, law of vibration and attraction, we have already covered. So these are just following laws. Next is the law of cause and effect, a beautiful law. This is also called the law of karma. Okay. And as I said, many people don't understand this, avoid karmas, but a person who understands this can play the game of life in the most beautiful way, easiest way, and effortless way. Okay. In fact, they will rule the game called life. So, what does law of karma say? One who understands and tunes themselves with law of karma need not even fear God. Just understand the power in this law. Okay. One who understands law of cause and effect and karma need not even be afraid of God. Because first rule is everything you are experiencing in this earth realm or physical realm, the fact is your soul has designed it and sent these experiences for you when you come into this world. So you have no more chances of, no more reasons to blame others or to use your victim card. Why God, only me? Why me? Why this time? Why always me? And blaming people around you or your life and all this. So simply remember, if anyone asks, what is law of karma or what is law of cause and effect? Law of cause and effect. Cause. Okay, so in because, remove B and you get the cause word. So cause and effect. So without a cause, without a reason, there is no effect, a following result of it. That's what it means. So simply, this whole universe is like a circle, friends. And in a circle, the speciality of a circle is you cannot pinpoint and say, this is the beginning and this is the end. Right? Every point looks like the beginning and every point looks like the end. All right. So if this whole universe is a circle, every intention, thought, word, or activity you're doing, your emotions, feelings, everything you're leaving or releasing into this universe is like a boomerang. How many people know what a boomerang is? Boomerang is this V-shaped, it's almost like a V-shaped wooden or a light plastic material. You throw it usually to cut apples from the trees, to chase away monkeys, to chase away anything far away. And the beauty of it is it just goes and comes back to you. The shape of it and the aerodynamics of it is made in such a way that it flies away from you as much, and then it takes a round shape and comes back to you, no matter where you throw it and how you throw it. Okay. So remember that law of karma is just simply you create your reality by attracting back what you're releasing out there. Understood? So just be very, very mindful of what you're leaving into the universe. And this law works 100% of the times. You cannot say no to this law, because a law is law for everyone. It is going to work no matter what. Just like you go to a restaurant, eat something, and you automatically get a bill for it, and you just can't say, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in getting a bill, or I don't want to pay for it. It's a consequence. You have to pay for it, and you will get a bill for it. Just like that, for every action you take, every thought and intention or word that you're releasing, you will have an effect on it, because you are releasing a cause for it. You will get and bear the circumstances or consequences of it. Okay. You cannot hide from it, and you cannot say no to it. Okay. So the best way, just like a musical instrument, it's perfectly tuned. If you tie it too hard, like the strings of a violin or a guitar or veena, if you tie them too hard, they break. If you tie them too loose, they sound lousy, right? So if a perfect tuning is important, that is how you tune to this law of karma. So when you tune yourself in a perfect balance, in the sense, when you're emotionally charged, don't talk. Understood? Because when you're emotionally charged, you get things out of you, like you say words that shouldn't be said. You react in a vibration that you should not be in, and things go out of control. So you should find that middle ground balance. You need not talk all the time, and you should know this balance of expressing exactly. And you should know when to talk, when not to talk, or pause and all that. Okay. So you can express, but later, and you should know when to stop, and which frequency to always maintain it. Remember, friends, when I say maintain a good frequency, the simplest acts that you can do is meditation and doing meditational seva, or these are called mukti karmas. Anything, even if you give money to a beggar, or if you feed a person for once, say annadan, we say, right? So you are just filling his tummy for one meal maybe, but what happens, he's going to feel hungry again. But when you give your time, your seva to an enlightened master, he's releasing this, he or she, or even yourself, you are releasing this immense enlightened energy into this universe, which is a million times more than feeding a person, a hungry person on the road for one meal. How I'm going to justify is, when you release great immense energies for the whole universe, you know how many elements are there in this universe? Trillions multiplied by trillions. So many elements are getting energy, whereas one person eating a meal that day is just one element, and divided by three, because he's going to need three meals, isn't it? So that's the difference in the match of energies. So always catch hold of mukti karmas, because even if you do positive karmas, punya karmas, you're going to take more lives to actually enjoy it, or experience it again. So if I donate a beggar some money, next life I have to take another life where the beggar actually comes and gives me an equivalent or more. Okay, I still have to go through that life period and cycle. But in mukti karmas, what happened? I get mukti from the life cycle itself. Okay, more experiential energies in a single time. So here I want to add, you can give your time, your energies like money, your intentional energies. Every day, just think, how do I do? I just release a thought that all my Guru Shakti's intentions or sankalp should come true. How much time did I spend on it and how many millions did it cost me? Hardly anything. So when I do that 2 minutes meditation with that affirmation, I just take in all the energies from the universe, multiply it within me, and then pour it to that sankalp. So the highest master or the most enlightened master in my life, I know, is my guru. And he has the highest affirmations or the sankalp, right, in his life. So what I do is just pour my energies to it. Or when I have money, I just donate to an enlightened master. Or when I have time, I just go to something like Ekathva Telugu. Bharati madam, you're saying something? Okay. You're talking on the phone or something. So yeah, when I have time or something, what do? I go to Ekathva Telugu, Hindi, English, or there's so many channels, right? I go subscribe to it. I go press the like, share button, and I do some dhyan prachar, sitting at home happily. I'm using the digital platform to actually press a button and then advertise my guru's words to millions of people around, which I physically can't do. So doing meditation and doing spiritual seva, because spiritual seva is always intended for the greater good. You never think of just yourself, like doing vegetarian rallies or doing dhyan prachar. And easiest dhyan prachar, friends, need not even go physically, give out pamphlets or give out booklets or explain and all that. You can just happily share videos online. Our spiritual masters have already made them for us in short bites, like 45 seconds, 1 minute at times. And all you do is share them with your friends, family, and happily sit back and enjoy the account being blessed with all that, mukti karma energies. Okay. So that is the law of cause and effect. Remember, anyone who remembers the law of karma never will complain and never will react. If anyone is not so great with you or not in tune with you or according to you hurts you or steals from you, remember we had this soul journey book discussed in Ekathva recently by an enlightened master. And there was a guy continuously asking, there was a master who was questioning, my relatives or my brother has not only taken away my property, but he has even insulted me multiple times. He attacks me and all that. And the simple point to that is your brother or the person who's hurting you or who looks like is hurting you is either finishing up his previous life karma. That means you have done it to them and they are returning the karma back, or they are creating new karma. And you, my friend, when you came into this soul journey called your life, you put your hand up and said, I will help you finish your karma. So there's nothing to blame. It's a beautiful cause and effect. So everything is according to your soul contract with that person. So happily enjoy it, observe it, don't participate, don't react, don't respond. Okay, just be an observer. And by reacting, by talking, by gossiping, or by doing anything, remember that you're pouring your valuable energies to that person and that act. And that's how you're attracting or accumulating more karmas. Okay. So stop victimizing, stop blaming, and remember that these laws are being calculated. These laws are actually encapsulating all the details and they will get their share of whatever is needed. So come back to the laws, the basic law, the divine oneness. Don't go around cursing people. Don't go around taking revenge on people. Remember, you are a god, they are gods, and we are all here to experience things. Okay. Next law, a beautiful law, seventh law, which is law of compensation. Where do we listen to the word compensation? I heard of some cases in the court, compensation laws, where you say, I deserve this money. Okay, the government needs to pay me this money, or the organization needs to reimburse me with this much money. And what happens? The government not just compensates you for the money that's pending, but it's going to add some arrears. Like because it's been 8 years, 10 years, or 15 years, it's going to compensate you with something extra, like a basic 1 rupee interest or something just for the waiting period, right? Similarly, even the universal law says, just like the law of karma says, you get what you give out, This is one step ahead and one step next, and it follows the law of karma and says, you just don't get what you give, but you get multiple fold. In fact, 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more. And the best example that anyone says, what is law of compensation? So you're basically compensated for what you give out and how much. It's a multiple fold. So if you give 1 gram of goodness, it just does not come back as, okay. Someone is saying my voice is low. Just check it now. Bharti ma'am, can you give me a thumbs up if my voice is clear? Okay. The rest, please try to log out and log in or restart your phone or something like that. Is my voice clear to everyone? Anyone with issues, please type it in the chat box. Thank you. So we are at the law of compensation, friends. Thank you. The best example to give is Sri Krishna's friend, Sudama, right? What did he offer Sri Krishna? A handful of poha. That's all he had. He was utterly poor according to our physical standards, and his intention was very pure and very filled with love. And what did he offer Sri Krishna? What can you offer a god who has everything, right? So he offers what he has. He had just poha, and by the way, Krishna loves that poha, his favorite poha in the world, and he keeps coming back to his friend for that signature poha, right? So what he does, he just takes a handful. I mean, how much is enough to feed a god is also the question, right? So he takes just a handful and he beautifully enriches it with a pure intention that this poha should not only enrich my friend, make him abundant, but it should, help him not feel hunger again and all this. So with pure intention, when he offers this poha, what happens? He gets riches back, kingdoms and kingdoms worth of riches back. So he becomes abundant ultimately. So the meaning is a mutti bar of poha, a handful of poha is fetching you back kingdoms. What do you think miracles that you can attract with even bigger intentions? So what I mean is, if you ask something local, like my parents should live longer, my dog should not die tomorrow, or my sister's knee operation should go successful, or my daughter's admission should happen in so and so particular school, my husband should get the promotion that he is due from 6 months. All these are very localized thoughts, localized intentions, and very weak, or not weak, but very low level, low energy or low vibrating thoughts. But when you think of something universal, the same thing, and to my surprise, my enlightened guru, Prabodh Achyutha sir, gives a very simple 2-line universal affirmation that we are made to repeat again and again. And when I was going through these laws, I understood, oh my God, everything this guru is making us do is in alignment with the laws of the universe. What are those 2 lines? Can anyone type or say? What are the 2 lines that Prabodh sir, our enlightened guru, makes us say to make every intention of ours universal, to keep giving energies to the whole universe, not just to our family or to our gendered people or something to mind me oriented batches? You know, our sir keeps saying, I'm going to give out because we are running out of time. He keeps saying, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. And we should take 1 minute to say this, friends, wholeheartedly with all the energies in the universe. Let's pull those energies together, fill our every cell inside the body, and multiply it and send it back to the universe. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Why I repeated that so many times is, do you know when you're repeating such high level vibrational quotes, your hand is getting energized so much. You can feel the energies releasing from your hand. Whereas if you say my dog should live, just try it. My sister should move to India. All those things won't give you so much energy. So leave all your local thoughts, I, me, mine thoughts. Okay. So everything you're giving will come back. So why not give it the highest vibrational value? Okay. We'll leave law of compensation there. We'll go to the last law, which is law of perpetual transmutation of energy. It sounds complicated, but it's very simple, friends. Perpetual means something that always keeps changing, and transmutation means which takes new forms. Now, mutation, remember the word mutation, we usually listen in cancer patients. We say your cells have mutated like this, or your mutations are back. For someone who has lost cancer and then the cancer has regrown again, we say your mutations are back. Okay, so the law basically is saying that your energy, not your energy or my energy, whole energy in this whole universe loves to be in movement. It does not like to be static. Okay. So all the energy loves to be in movement, in flow, and it likes to take different forms. So it loves to change form to form. For example, my energy that I ate a packet of peanuts before this class. So the energy that's coming out of those peanuts is converting into this voice energy, reaching my phone, and that's going into you as voice energy and converting into wisdom. And then your hand is moving to write notes and all that. So it's becoming mechanical energy. So just in one single act, so many forms of energy have changed into so many other forms, isn't it? So energy loves that. So just like we say, what is structured water or energized water? Alkaline water means the water that's always in movement, like waterfall. Say, water. If you collect water from the waterfall, you know how rivers are always in movement. So such water is very pure, and the water that is always still, like say in a lake or just in a container in a kitchen or in your tank, overhead tank above your building, that water is not so structured because it has lost the movement, right? We have made it still and we have captured it in one single area. So any energy that's always in movement has high energy, friends. This is very important because we energy beings, we human beings are energy beings, and we can only have two states. We can either be gaining energy or we would be losing energy. There is no state in the middle which says you're not gaining nor losing. No, there is either every second. If you listen to this class with awareness, you are gaining energy. If you are sleepy and you're multitasking, you are doing something and only little bit of energy is here, then you're losing energy. You are not learning much, and plus you're losing energy. So at every moment, we as an energy being, we are either gaining energy or losing energy. And obviously, what is a better state to be in? Obviously, gaining energy. Because what's the point if you know so much, so many laws, you have a spiritual guru, you know so much about spirituality, and you're working so hard, sitting for hours and hours in meditation, gaining all those cosmic energies. What is the point if you are losing energy? So, a body with consciousness, with awareness, and with a bit of practice is always in gaining. Example, I even tried going to the gym, and by the end of the gym, I actually came out more energetic than I went in. That is very uncommon. Can you imagine going to the gym and gaining energies? You're usually shedding energies and feeling tired and always waiting and wanting to run away from the gym. But using this awareness techniques, I'm actually more energized and, all pumped up. So we as spiritual people should always target energy gaining situations. Okay. So we know that energy can be taken in higher vibrations. So when you're thinking good, when you're doing good, when you're imagining good, when you're talking good, when you're positive, just like kids, why kids are bursting with energy is because they don't have any worries like us. They don't have guilt. They don't have too many thoughts. They just see fire and say, let's jump into it. Let's put our hand into it. They feel like gods. They can do anything. So the number of cells apparently active in kids is much, much, much more compared to the number of cells active in adults. So we should aspire and actually be, by practice, how to be like kids. We have to search that divine inner child back again, and we should always be playing with energy. Never say no to growth, friends. Never say no to experiences. Always be open for growth. Always say yes to growth, multidimensionally and multifold. For example, after coming to meditation, I started cutting my own hair. I stopped going to the hair salon. I don't know, I just got a thought and I started looking at YouTube and I cut my own hair. Then I started making my kids' dresses. I only have one kid, by the way, but I started stitching dresses for her. Then I started taking music classes, Sangeetam classes. Then I started doing dance. In fact, I learned dance online looking at YouTube. But I'm always open. I just say yes, yes, yes. And that's how my energies are growing in entire different way. And very soon I'm going to join instrumental lessons. I'm going to learn Veena and all that. So what a soul wants is growth. So it loves experience, just like kids. So let your energies flow and you will be in tune with law of perpetual transmutation of energy, because you're letting your energy forms always multiply, divide, and then take different other forms. So you're always in movement. If you're static, still, you're sitting at a place thinking too much, doing nothing much, your thoughts are not followed by actions, then you become like rotten water. You know, if an instrument exists, even the most complicated instrument or a device like computer, if you don't use it for long, if it's just static sitting there, it could be a grinder, it could be anything, a tractor, anything, including your teeth. You know why you get dental problems? Because you're not using your teeth enough. So anything that's in use, that's in motion, that's in, flow, actually has greater energy, and it is serving the purpose of the universe. It has come to experience every second, every turn of your life should be filled with experiences. And anyone who knows these laws, I can bet you will not fear for karmas or experiences. When you know the law of karma, why would you actually fear it? Because you're conscious, you're aware that if I talk ill, I'm going to get back ill. If I wish ill, I'm going to get back 10, 20 folds of, negativity. So I'm going to be alert and aware of it. So don't be scared to spread yourself, to, explore yourself and grow, because that's what God does. God never says no. God never says, oh my God, why should I? Or God never has doubts, right? So grow happily, take every bit of energy that's in every corner of your life. Remember that cosmic energy is available for everyone equally. Why is someone an emperor and someone a beggar? It's only what they made out of it. Understood? It's only what they made out of it. Why someone has a bigger house, someone has a smaller house or a hut, is it's their imagination, their action, their willingness, and what they did with their basic materials in their life. Okay, so the moral of the story is, let's vibrate in high vibrations, and that in turn will give you high frequencies. And what you vibrate and release the frequencies in, you will attract in the form of people, experiences, thoughts, help, masters. When you're vibrating in a higher frequency, you attract higher masters. When you're obviously vibrating at low levels, you are pouring your energies to low level lokas, and you invite and get aligned to low level beings. Okay. So those are the 4 laws today. Just to recap, what have we learned today? I'm just repeating the laws, not everything that we have learned. Law of action, law of cause and effect, law of compensation, and law of perpetual transmutation of energy, friends. Thank you so much for your attention today. I hope you were very, very aware when you're listening to this, and you will take full advantage the way I have taken. And I thank you all for your attention. And we will meet at the same time. In fact, we will start tomorrow class at 7:45, just to have a recap of all the previous 8 laws that we have finished. Okay. So interested people, Join at 7:45. Anyone who thinks, nah, I know everything, I understood all the 8 laws, I don't need a recap, you can join at 8 o'clock. Okay. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow. And till then, stay enlightened, stay surrendered to Guru Shakti, and stay in tuned with the 12 universal laws, or at least the 8 that we already discussed. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you to the hosting team, Ramnama ma'am, as always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you tomorrow.